So last week, one of our clients made £2,400 in cash. This isn't revenue, lifetime value, just cash sat in his bank account last week without a single person walking into his gym. And how that broke down is we essentially sold 12 people it was actually 3 days, it wasn't even a full week, on his beginner's 6-week BJJ challenge that we built for him at a price point of $199. And again, this was sold entirely without a single trial, whether that was free or whether that was paid, without selling over the phone, and without the BJJ owner even being involved in the process. He had nothing to do with the sales. It was all done for him. Now, if you run a martial arts gym in the UK and you're targeting like adults, this is specifically a sales process for adults. This won't work for kids. This sales opportunity, right, is the big opportunity in 2025, right, which is allowing our clients to get insane results, but also allows them to sell without even needing to be in the gym, which is crazy, right? Being able to sell these programs without even being in the gym, without selling single trial sessions, so without people even having to come into the gym to purchase this program. And it allows you to even grow if you wanted to go on holiday, which is pretty mental, right? Which most people thought would not even be possible. And the way that I know that's true is because I sold these programs and I'm currently in Brazil. So if I'm able to do it whilst being on holiday, it's not even my gym, you guys are going to be great as well. So we've been testing this process out for 60 days internally. Now, as a business, we don't do anything that we haven't tested ourselves. So what that basically means is my team and myself specifically have done all of these sales processes for a select few gyms what we are currently working with. So I have physically been the one selling these programs for the gym. I don't tell anyone to do anything that I haven't already done myself. So super, super important, guys. But like I said, we have been testing this. We've spent over £10,000 developing this system to prove that it works. And we spent well over 400 hours over the last 60 days actually selling these products and developing this sales process so that the clients can get unbelievable results. So you might be asking, how does this sales system even work? Now, if I just switch tabs and show you this. So usually like the your standard sales process for selling kind of martial arts is this. So you have a Facebook ad or a website form, something like that, where someone is actually like opting into your ad. They're giving you their information to learn more. That person is then inevitably called up, text, whatever it may be. They're then booked onto a trial class. After they are booked onto the trial class, they then show up for the class, and then they get sold onto the membership. So you might be asking then, what is the issue? Now, if you've ever ran this sales system before, you probably already know what the problems are, right? So this isn't going to be very new to you. The first one, you're able to get leads, but you have a massive drop off between actually getting those leads to book into the trial. So you can't book a lot of those leads in. So you might be able to generate 100 leads in a month from Facebook, which, a lot of these gurus say, we'll get you a ton of leads, but then leads don't mean anything. They're able to get like 100 leads, but then maybe only 10 people actually book in, which is a really bad statistic. Now from there, you have them actually booking into the trial class and then showing up. And we all know, especially from Facebook, if you're not taking deposits or you're not doing it properly, you're going to struggle to even get a 50% show rate from these trials. So you get 100 leads, you book 10 people in, maybe 5 people show up to the trial. And then after the trial class, you then try and convert them into a membership or a program. Now, a lot of martial arts gyms think that they are the Wolf of Wall Street of sales, when in reality they're only sold to referrals and word of mouth. And the amount, if I had £1 for every time I jumped on a call, and a martial arts gym told me, just get them in front of me, just get them in the door and I'll sell them, I'd be an extremely rich man. And the reality of it is, if you're trying to sell leads from Facebook, it doesn't work the same as referrals and word of mouth. Anyone can sell referrals or word of mouth, but that is a completely other conversation. But most gyms struggle, especially adult gyms, struggle to convert 50% of those people from a class into a membership. Now, what are some of the other issues? Now, these are things that no other guru, marketing agency, coach, whatever you want to call it, actually talks about. And these are the issues that come from this sales process. Number one, operational complexity, how to actually deliver the class when you have new people there. If you've got 20 members in the class that are all paying £100 a month for your membership, but then someone who's come in for a free trial is getting all of the head coach's attention, it's going to put the other 20 off, right? And that person who's coming in for that trial might not even sign up. So you got operational complexity. How do you actually make sure that you deliver a good service without pissing off your current members? That's the first one. People turning up late, massive pain in the ass. You tell people to come 10 minutes before, they arrive 10, 15 minutes late, class has already started, you've got to stop, go off, make sure that they're feeling good and that they're ready to go. It's an absolute nightmare. The third one, the wrong type of people wasting your time. You give them this amazing trial class and then they leave and you never hear from them again, right? It's another common thing that you're going to find with this. And then the fourth one is people expecting freebies and not to be sold onto programs or memberships. So they come in for a free trial to essentially be like, oh, I'll give it a go. Why not? They're not really serious. Again, current members get pissed off that you're spending so much time with these new people, and then they don't even buy in the end. Now, other things, just even from the start of the funnel, getting the leads in the first place, getting them on the phone and booked on, getting them to show up. Super, super difficult that no one really talks about. They don't talk about these things. They just say, we'll be able to get you 10 new people in a class, without looking at the complexities that may kind of equate to in realistic terms. So what is this new sales process, right, guys? So this sales process, like I said, is something that we've been developing for quite a while now. And if you run an adults gym, this is by far the biggest opportunity for you to grow in 2025 without any of those problems and without even needing to be in the gym. It's crazy, guys. And what that is some sort of lead, whether it's from Facebook website, and we get them booked onto a group Zoom call. We call it a game plan call, a group Zoom call. People then attend the Zoom call and then they get sold straight onto the program. I'm not talking about selling them onto a taster session, onto a 2-week trial. I'm talking they are paying, they are getting their cards out and they are paying for that program on the call. So very, very simple. We're getting people onto a group Zoom call and then selling those people who actually show up to the Zoom call. Now, why is this good? Number one, you can do that Zoom call from anywhere. Like I just said, I'm in Brazil right now, and I've been selling this program for the gyms for the last 4 weeks whilst being in Brazil, not being in the country and not even having been in a lot of these gyms. The second thing, when people actually sign on to the program, do you think they're going to show up? They think they're going to come in if they've paid £200 on a Zoom call? Of course they are. They're going to be bought into the process so that essentially the first time that they come into the gym, you don't have to worry about selling them. You don't have to worry about all of this other stuff they're already bought. You just can focus on giving the best service possible. And number three is it's just a lot more simple. You have less drop off. You have a Facebook. So for example, the client that we were talking about at the start of this call who made £2,400 in cash, we didn't call any of their leads. We had them coming through a Facebook ad. They clicked there, they went to a landing page, they had a video, they had loads of information, and then they got told to book onto a Zoom call. And literally that's all we had. And we had about a 50 to 60% booking rate, which was really, really good. So we had something like 35 leads. We had, I think, 15, 16 of them actually book onto the Zoom call. And then we had those 12 sales. So you have literally getting them onto the Zoom call and then selling them. That's the only two things you really need to worry about. And my sales rate from all of that money and all that time that we've invested is about 80 to 90% for these Zoom calls. And there is literally no reason why you couldn't be able to do this. And here's some proof. We've got some videos here, some recordings of me selling for a BJJ gym, collecting £600 in cash on this call, 600 quid here, 450 quid for a boxing gym, £400 for an MMA program. I literally have dozens of these videos where I have sold people onto these programs, right? So guys, this is what you need to be focusing on. The way of doing things before, where you get people booked onto a trial and then you beg them to become a member, it's completely over. You need to be adapting the way that you're selling these things. And this is by far the best opportunity if you still want to grow while still having a bit more location freedom and not even happen to be in the gym to sell these programs. Now, what I'm going to be doing for a very, very limited time only, guys, if you do want me to send you over a copy of basically a video of me actually running through the sales process, like the actual sales pitch of like what happens when someone joins a Zoom call and how they buy, like that entire process, I'm going to send over the next 5 people a completely free video, which actually goes through the entire process, right, and how you can implement it for your gym. So if you do want that, feel free to DM me on Instagram, comment below on YouTube, or reach out to me and I'll get this sent over to you. But this is by far the biggest opportunity in 2025 if you're an adult martial arts gym, okay? Hope you found this video useful. Can't stress this enough, guys. You need to be adapting the way that you're selling. It's 2025. The ways of doing stuff 3 or 4 or 5 years ago that worked then does not work now. You need to be changing. Hope you find this useful, guys. Catch you soon.